the way it moves, the satisfying ones. Found out my wife of 28 years has been dirty texting a 25-year-old boy that goes to our church. He also went to school with our 24-year-old son and lives 2 blocks away. She lied and told me she never sent or received any pictures, but I found evidence on our phone bill. She then said she only sent pictures of her cleavage and he sent pictures of his tattoos. I don't think I can go on with our marriage, but I don't want to hurt our children. There is no way to keep them from finding out. She has lost a lot of weight lately and now looks like she did 28 years ago. She has started reading all of the Gray's books and I think that is when it started. As for me, I am 60 but everyone thinks I am 50 or younger. I had a 5-way bypass 6 years ago. I have worked hard to get back into shape and am now 95% of what I was before. Flab is not the problem. I inherited my arteries and they were junk. She has not been interested in bonding for many years. Every 2 months was more than enough for her. As for my kids, they are my life and I don't ever want to let them hate their mother because of something this crazy. We live in a very small town, 25-0. She works in a professional office. I am surprised it hasn't gotten around yet. He works out of town and just comes in once a month or so. I have heard someone knock on our bedroom outside wall in the early morning hours, but I never saw her get out of bed. I am a very light sleeper and would have seen her. I now sleep with a pistol near the bed and pack it with me when not working. I have told her, without a doubt, if I ever catch him near our home or near her, someone will die. I will shoot him like any other rabid dog. I live in a right-to-carry state and we also have the castle law. I have no doubt that I can and will defend my home and marriage. She also has no doubt that I will. I have talked to a local police officer and he knows all information except for the guy's name. He agrees I have every right. He knows I have printed out all the information from the phone bill. I have written down all of my wife's story and lame excuses. He said if all this gets out of control, he would get the phone company to produce all of the texts and photos. He will also place a restraining order on him. In my state, all he has to do is be on my property, near my car, or near my wife or family to get shot. I would not hesitate. I got her phone, recovered the deleted photos. She told the truth about the photos. I check our phone calls and texts daily. I do not trust her and I may never trust her again. She is well aware of the steps I will take to ensure this never happens again. I well know the laws covering this. I will exercise my rights to deal with her and him. I also retrieved the texts and have printed copies and gave her a copy to let her know that I know everything. I can and will use this in court if needed. The guy's dad is a deacon of the church and a close friend of mine. I am not trying to destroy everyone. He has been away from home for 6 or 7 years working in the oil field. His upbringing has faded considerably. I made it plain to my wife that it will not be tolerated. Last chance. I said I would shoot the sob and I mean it. He comes around my home, my family or my wife again, he is responsible for the outcome. As of this moment in time, we are trying to work through this. I have put 28 years into this and I will not make any rush decisions. I will not be posting on this every 10 minutes just to stir the crap up. Just to be clear, I do not intend to blow the sob away and not looking for an excuse. He has already given me a reason. If he gets stupid enough to push me, it is his decision. I will not be responsible for his decision. He has been warned and promised. We are trying to work through this and if that upsets you then you are on the wrong website. I came on here to get support and try not to screw this up. I have been through a lot worse in a previous marriage and may have given up too easily. I will not give up easily this time. I am partly to blame for what has happened and am smart enough to know that. 2 weeks ago, I found where he had sent a friend request to my wife on Facebook. I lost it then and unloaded on him. I told him to stay away from my wife and used lots of 4-letter words. I told him he was stupid for trying to friend her because everyone could see this including his parents and my kids. I would not ever let him rest if this got around and to stay the hell away. He sent me a reply and said it was not him. He was the victim in this, that it was all her. She was the one texting, sending pictures and following him around. He said she is the predator and he never wanted anything to do with her. She is a stalker and I need to take care of her. He did not appreciate my disrespecting him with my language. Really a dumbass. I told him that I have copies of the text and the 3 nude pictures he sent her. I also have a copy of the picture she sent him, cleavage only. I told him I have no respect for him and I would continue to use whatever language I wanted with him. The only reason I haven't kicked his ass was his parents, but if he ever tried anything again, I would go straight to his parents and the church. He is not the innocent one. He was just as guilty as her. He needs to look over his shoulder from now on. I told him that I have filed a police report and I will follow through with it if he causes any problems. I showed his note to my wife and she was really upset that he blamed all of it on her. She thought he really cared for her. Dumbass. He cares for only what he can get from her. She now swears she hates his guts and will never try anything like this again. I said I will never trust her again and will not stop double-checking everything. When I got home from work today, she had listed all of the financial things and decided she doesn't want to work things out. I will be moving out soon and getting on with my life. She says there is no one else and just wants her freedom. I really believe her. I also believe we have a president that really cares about America. Update: we worked things out for a while and it was fantastic. We took a long weekend, went to another town and had a lot of fun. Everything was wonderful until our youngest daughter asked her if she was really serious about us getting things right and was she really going to be a wife. She told her no, I am just trying to get him to stay long enough to get things worked out financially. Then I will file for divorce. I want my freedom to enjoy my life. Daughter made her tell me the truth. I agreed to stay until we got money problems worked out and some major repairs done on the house. Then we will sell the house and she can go to hell. 6 months later, I am still living in the back of the house and she in the front. Today is our 30th anniversary. She chose to spend the weekend at the lake with our daughter and was supposed to be back this afternoon. At 8 p.m. she had daughter send me a text to say she would be spending another night at the lake. She will see me at noon tomorrow because we are supposed to have lunch with friends from church. She expects me to be there. I am going to another town 150 miles away to visit my brother in the hospital. I will send her a text sometime tomorrow. Maybe. I posted a very nice note on her Facebook page. It said, "Happy 30th anniversary, darling. I really do not deserve the love and respect you have shown me in the last year. Hope your day was as wonderful as you have made mine." Today was our 30th anniversary and she stayed at the lake with our daughter so she won't have to feel the pain. Very high morals. My daughter, her best friend of 25 years, is married. She has a friend from the same church that she is seeing. She lets him come over at all hours of the night to visit. She sits outside with him at 3 in the morning and just talks while she is in her nightgown with no bra. Her husband doesn't give a damn. My daughter has all but disowned this woman because she says it is against everything in the Bible. Yet, she continues to support her mother. Really do not understand this logic, but she doesn't want to take sides with us. Months later, after much contemplation and discussion, I decided to get a divorce. I hired a skilled divorce attorney to represent me, and together we worked to negotiate a fair settlement. She was also represented by an experienced lawyer, and the two sides were able to come to an agreement without the need for a costly and drawn-out court battle. In the end, I was able to secure a substantial portion of the couple's assets and property, including the house I had always dreamed of owning. I was relieved to have the divorce process behind me and was excited to start a new chapter in my life. X, on the other hand, was saddened by the end of her marriage, but grateful that the divorce had been handled in a respectful and amicable way. She was able to move on with her life and build a new future for herself. Overall, we were able to navigate their divorce in a way that allowed them both to move forward and find happiness in their new lives. Story 2. The Drag. Let me give you all some background. My wife and I have been together since we were 18. We met in June of 2010 and found out we were pregnant with our daughter in October. She was born in July of 2011 and we were married in May of 2012. I don't think we were madly in love at first, but over time, we both fell in love. We were blessed with a son in April of 2014 and things had been great. Or so I thought. My wife has always dealt with anxiety and depression. She had struggled with her weight her whole life, and after the 2 kids, it only got worse. She eventually got up the courage to attend some IC for the depression, etc. in 2018. I am not an emotional person. I am very logical and rational. I like to be in control of the situation and know what is going on. We complemented each other well. In 2019 to 2020 she began talking about gastric bypass surgery. I encouraged her towards it, as I thought it would benefit her health and her mental state. I am happy to say she has killed it and has lost nearly 125 pounds. In less than 2 years, she has felt more confident in herself and is starting to feel beautiful, which is great. Over the last 3 years of her attending IC, she has asked me to attend with her on a few occasions. I always refused, stating my dislike of therapists and thought they were a waste of time. I was happy it was working for her but didn't see the benefit of me attending. To be fair, we did have discussions over those 3 years about how she wasn't happy and I wasn't meeting her emotional needs. I didn't listen. I was stubborn and often changed for a few weeks and then reverted back. Eventually she just stopped talking to me about it and I, stupidly, assumed everything was fine. About 2 weeks ago, I logged onto Facebook, thinking it was my profile. She had left herself logged in and I didn't notice. There were some messages with another guy that started off innocent enough, and then crossed the line. She started telling him that she felt butterflies around him, thought he was very attractive and even exchanged phone numbers so as to possible meet up for lunch behind my back. I was shocked and mortified. My wife is the most moral and trustworthy person I know. I couldn't believe she would do this. I confronted her that evening and she didn't try to hide or deny it. She said she felt a deep connection with this guy. She had literally met him for 30 minutes at our daughter's cheer practice the week before and then spent 6 hours sending messages on FB. It didn't make sense to me. I agreed that we needed to attend counseling and said I would do whatever she needed me to do. I did ask her to text the guy and tell him that she had made a mistake and was going to work on things with me. She said that she would, that she needed some space and she'd like to sleep on the couch for the next few nights. I agreed. The next morning, I awoke early for work. She had also gotten up to take the dog out, so I asked her if she had messaged him. She told me she did and that he had said that he understood and it was fine. But something didn't feel right. My wife is a horrible liar and I could see right through it. I kept pressing and she confessed that she had sent him dirty pictures. They had also spent 2 hours on the phone after I had gone to bed and had phone time. This guy was only in town visiting family for a few days and has since gone back to California, where he is stationed in the military. She has told me on multiple occasions since that it wasn't about him individually, but about how he made her feel. It made her realize that she hadn't been feeling that way towards me and gave her the confidence to do something about it. I was devastated. We went to her IC together and she talked about how I hadn't been emotionally supportive, had been condescending and disrespectful to her feelings over the last years. All true. She said that she had been wrestling with these thoughts, leaving me, for the better part of the 3 years, and that meeting this guy had given her the courage to speak up. I told her that I still wanted to make this work and just needed a chance to make these changes. I agreed to attend my own IC for these issues, as well as marriage counseling together. She has space for 6 days before the marriage counseling appointment, and I agreed I would do my best. Well, my best sucked, to say the least. I was so broken and hurt that I badgered her with questions and discussions about us. I'm not used to dealing with emotions and I didn't know how to handle it. I did give her some space for the last 3 days, but it was too late. At the marriage counseling session, she told me she wanted to separate. She said she had never felt so sure about a decision. We agreed to make it through the holidays for the kids and then figure everything out in January. The counselor encouraged me to continue seeing my IC to work on my issues and to do it for myself and not to save the marriage. Easier said than done. We are currently still living in our house together and sleeping in the same bed, king size, opposite sides. It is daily torture for me to see her and not be able to hold her, touch her, kiss her, tell her how sorry I am and how much I care. The kids know something is up, but we are going to be quiet for now. We agreed that in January, I would move out for a month for a trial separation. At first, she told me we could use this time to see if she missed me at all or if us being apart caused her to feel anything. Now, it's just to temper the kids into the idea. We have a house together and can't afford a mortgage and rent payment, so in February I would come back and we would start working on the logistics of the separation. To be clear, I don't want to separate at all. I feel like she is throwing away 10 years of marriage, the house we worked so hard for, and doing emotional harm to the kids, without even giving me a chance to change. I realize this has been a long time coming for her, but in my mind, this has all happened in 14 days. 3 weeks ago, I had a wife, kids, etc. and everything was okay. Now my whole world has been torn down. I can't eat, I can barely sleep. She seems so at peace with this and so calm. To see her just sitting on the couch in the evening and knowing that she isn't feeling the pain and hurt I am, just causes me more pain. I don't know what to do. I have realized that begging, pleading and whining isn't going to get her back. She has told me that she is open to me changing, but that it probably won't change anything. I'm scared. I've never been with anyone else, never been single. I'm scared for my kids. I'm scared for my wife. I don't want to throw this all away and then have her realize this was a mistake in 10 months when the damage has been done. I will love her until the day I die, and right now, I'd take her back no matter what, at any time. I really don't know what to do. I'm not worried about her continuing the brief affair, but I feel like she has already given up. My theory is that she is feeling more confident in her new body 2 years post-gastric bypass, and this guy that she feels wouldn't have given her 2 looks 5 years ago was now attracted to her. She sent pictures of her body and he wasn't repulsed, like she thought he would be. She knows wants to see if other guys that wouldn't have found her attractive pre-surgery will and could make her happier than I have. This kills me, since I thought she was beautiful before and after, and have been there for her. How do I save my marriage? Do I start the 180 plan? I really want this marriage to work, but I can't seem needy or pathetic. I'm scared of the unknown and scared for my family. My comment: this is an exit affair for her. She's been trying to communicate to you for 3 years that your marriage is in trouble, and you refused to go with her to counseling, and you basically ignored all the warning flares she was sending up. This didn't happen in 14 days. This happened over the course of 3 years while you were ignoring or turning a blind eye to her telling you that the marriage was in trouble. This isn't about her being thin now and being able to get guys she couldn't dream of getting before. It's because she was feeling neglected, unheard, and ignored. I think she's done. I think she's already made up her mind. If she wants to leave, let her leave. But if she wants to separate, she has to be the one to move out. Then follow the other poster's advice here about doing the 180. Give her what she wants. If she wants out of the marriage, let her go and focus on yourself. Focus on becoming a better person, a better father, and a better partner, and in that process, you'll realize that you can survive, and even be happy, without her. She may come back, she may not. But that's not why you do the 180, you do the 180 to take care of you. But if you want her to come back, you're going to need to grow into a better, permanent version of yourself. Once a woman has decided to close the door, it takes a Herculean effort for it to be reopened. She has already told me she has cut off communication with the OM and that it wasn't about him specifically. It was about the feelings she had with him and that she didn't have that with me and hadn't for a long time. It gave her the confidence to speak up and finally say she was done. I feel so stupid that I was so blind and deaf for so long. And in house separation is on the table. I said I would sleep in the basement while we figure out how to sell our home, etc. I just don't know that it's going to help or that she is going to be willing to give it another try, regardless. I guess all I can do is stop acting like a lost puppy, stop following her around or trying to win her back. I need to make changes and do it for me, while hoping she realizes what she's doing. It sucks. OP responds. I'm trying my best to let her go amicably and with love. I know that if I let her go with hate, then this will be even more painful for all involved, especially the kids. I told her I cannot control her actions, and if she wants to speak with this other man, that's her prerogative. I, too, don't believe in divorce for the same reason. Not religious, but I vowed to be with her until death do us part. She is not honoring those vows, and again, that's her choice. But I will not be the one to file divorce papers. We had a long talk last night and she said she just doesn't love me anymore and doesn't want to be in the marriage. She doesn't want me out of her life. She wants me to be her friend and be there for her. We have been best friends for 12 years. This is going to take time and healing for me to get over. Like you mentioned, she is much further along in the process than I, so I have some catching up to do. We are going to live in the same house until we can work out the sale, probably when kids are done school, June, and then move into our own places. Maybe down the road, or along this path she will realize what she's doing and throwing away and decide to make a go at it. Maybe she won't, but I know I'm going to work on making the changes for me. I hope she is the one to reap the benefits of my changes, but if they are for a future partner, then so be it. I love this woman, I will always love this woman and nothing can change that. Not the cheating, not the deceit. I have unconditional love, and I always will. It will take time to forgive what she did, but I will. Again, I vow to love her and be there for her, no matter what. She may not be honoring those vows, but I'm damn sure going to. I vow to be with her no matter what. Sickness, health, good, bad, everything. I will be the better person and honor those vows. She broke them when she cheated and she's breaking them by wanting separation. I will not. Comments. This is going to end very bad for you, emotionally. This is a very unhealthy attitude. You are not being a better person, you are trying to be a martyr. Good luck with that. You do realize that she is going to blame you for her affair once it gets out in the public eye. She sees now that she has other options than to accept the only marriage she's ever known, a bad one. That said, if you want to save the marriage, you should expose the affair to her important people, so that she sees how bad it looks to the people whose respect she craves, and maybe has second thoughts. If you just step back and let her do whatever the hell she wants, you are not only hurting you, but you're also hurting your kids and her. You can fight the cheating. You can expose it and try to get her head out of the affair fog. She's not that far into it that she can't see what's wrong with a wake-up call, exposure. Will she be mad at you? Absolutely. But your marriage can survive her anger. It can't survive another man or her walking out. OP responds. I'm willing to work on it and change that going forward. She isn't. I'm not blaming her at all, and I'm not going to play the victim. I take full responsibility for my emotional neglect over the years. However, I'm willing to uphold my vows going forward and wanted to work with her to try and make things better and fix things. She wants to separate and walk away. I can't shake the feeling that she wants to have her cake and eat it too. She wants the benefit of having me as a best friend, being able to talk with me and still see me and have me there for her, without having to work on the marriage. She also wants to be able to go out and be single and have the single life as well. I'm struggling with the feeling that I should just let her go and go our complete separate ways and only have contact in regard to the kids. That might be the best way to have her realize what she's throwing away and what's going to be gone. It might be the best chance of reconciliation down the road. It's just really hard for me to let her go right now. I'm still deeply in love with her and desire the contact with her. I'm kind of in a sense of limbo right now with my thoughts. I'm going to see my IC in a couple of hours. Hopefully they be able to provide some clarity. We talked again, and I told her I'm not leaving the house or going anywhere. We are going to fake it through the holidays. In January, we will begin an in-house separation, cohabituating, but being in different bedrooms, etc. Should she continue to want to separate and not be in this marriage, we will look to sell our house and go our separate ways when our kids are done school. Don't want to disrupt them or move them in the middle of the school year. I am committed to this, no matter how far gone or how deep in the fog she may be. I saw my IC today, and I know what I need to do. It's time I show her the changes in practice, rather than words. No more talking about it. No more worrying about the OM and whether she's talking to him. Focus on me and making my changes, hopefully wake her out of the fog and work on this marriage together. The expectations are that we will be leading separate lives but in the same house. She is not a psychical person. She is emotional. I don't think she's going to go out on a bunch of dates and sleep around. If she does, then I'll deal with it then. But right now, I need to let her do what she feels she needs to do, give her space and work on me. Hopefully she sees the changes and decides to work on us. I have been controlling the marriage and her for too long. I don't want this separation, and she knows where I stand and how I feel. If we get afford it financially, I will leave and give her complete space. But for now, an in-house separation is the best we can do. She has been trying to tell me for 3 years about what she was feeling. Now's the time for me to listen and respect her wishes, since I haven't for so long. It's my best chance for reconciliation at some point. I know it's a long shot and I'll be making these changes for me and to make me a better man and husband. Whether it's for her or someone else, I'm going to make changes for me, and if she decides to stick around and see them and reap the benefits, awesome. If not, I'll be a better man for it. I accept responsibility for my part, but she is continuing to speak with the OM like people said. It's like an addiction and she can't go without her fix. The problem I'm facing is she has told me she is tired of continuing to talk about our relationship. She feels as though I'm badgering her and talking about it daily. How do I get her out of this fog? How do I tell her this is what I think is going on? I don't want to keep talking about it when she has said not to, which would continue to show that I don't respect her emotion or needs. Do I just wait out the fog and hope it goes away? The first thing not to do on this list is to expose the affair, so I'm not sure that is the best avenue. Update: I decided to grow some X and tell her how I was really feeling, instead of feeding her the lines I had been. I gave her an ultimatum. If she wants to make it through the holidays for the kids, then she needs to cut off all contact with the OM after the holidays. If she can't go without contacting him, she can file the papers and leave the house. Same goes if she can't go without contacting him through the holidays. She can file the papers and get out. If she wants to make it through the rest of the school year for the kids, she needs to cut off contact with him through June. Once we are in our own places, she can do as she pleases. If she decides to lie and contact him behind my back during either of these times and I find out, I will file at-fault divorce papers for adultery. I can't have her continuing to build a relationship, despite it not being physical, while in our house, on our couch with me in the house, whether we are separated during this time in her mind or not. I won't do it and I won't be the one leaving. If she decides to go to therapy with me during this time, awesome. It may result in the same outcome, us going our separate ways in June, but at least we can talk through things. I told her she has a couple of days to decide what she wants to do, but the ball is in her court now. She's the one that wants to separate and she's the one that doesn't want to be in this marriage, so she needs to figure out what she wants to do. I will accept fault for what I did to drive her to where she is, but I didn't deserve to be cheated on. If she wanted to leave, she should have just filed the papers and left. She didn't and she needs to deal with the consequences. I won't continue to be cheated on in our house while I sit there, enabling it. Days later, she was a bit taken aback, wanted to know where this came from. I told it's what I should have said from the beginning, but I was scared and an emotional wreck. She's the one who cheated. If she wanted out so bad, she should have just filed the papers and left. She didn't and she needs to own it. I think she gets it now. She wants to separate, break up our family and leave me without trying. That's her prerogative. But I won't let her continue to cheat with the other man while we are both in our house. I don't care how much she tells me it's not about him. If it wasn't about him, she wouldn't have refriended him on FB and continued conversations. Ball's in her court now. Cut it off and make it through the holidays, school year and still separate. Continue to talk to him and leave our house immediately, or go to therapy and work through our issues. Therapy may lead to the same result of us separating, but I won't have her talking to the other man while we are in the same house. I own what I did to put us here, and I'm going to therapy and working on them. Up to her if she decides to work with me or leave. She meets with her IC tonight, and I told her she needs to tell me what she plans to do after their meeting. All indications are that she will not leave the house. Therefore, she will be cutting off all contact with the other man. I will monitor the phone bill and FB email until I can rebuild my trust with her. If she wants to stay in the house, then that is the deal. If at any point I determine they have been in contact, then she will have papers served and her stuff will be on the front porch. I personally hope she decides to attend MC together, whether we end up separating in June or not. I think it would be beneficial to air everything out and be on the same page going forward. Like I've said, I accept all responsibility for my faults and for my part in us being where we are. She needs to do the same and we need to work together to either fix our marriage and be better because of all this, or to make our separation as amicable as possible. Days later, I told her she had until Tuesday to let me know what she decided. She unfriended him on FB on Monday afternoon and told me she wouldn't be speaking with him anymore. However, on Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, we were sitting around after dinner and she happened to open her phone in front of me. She obviously forgot that she had left her web browser open on the phone and it was open to a Gmail account. I know she doesn't have a Gmail account, and I saw emails between her and the other man. I couldn't see dates before she quickly closed the page. She tells me that they were all from before Monday, and I can't disprove it. She has promised to stop talking to him, at least until we figure everything out and officially separate, sell the house, etc. I find it nearly impossible to trust her when it comes to him. While there has been no physical relationship between them, he is in San Diego. She has admitted to talking about being together with him and sending pictures. This week we both decided we needed space and to be away from each other. I've found it nearly impossible to not want to touch, hug, kiss her, etc. since this all started on November 4th. She asked for space then and I couldn't give it. It's been a month from hell and we both need to step back, rethink, reset and reassess. I'm staying at a friend's house this week and we will reconvene on Friday night to see where we both stand. As of our last conversation, Sunday, the plan was to fake it through Christmas, talk logistics and everything in January, begin an in-house separation, inform parents, family, etc., and then look to begin the sale of the house, etc. She would be staying in the basement bedroom until everything is sorted out. I still want to try and work this out. I still have that glimmer of hope. I'm hoping this week apart with zero contact, text, phone, face-to-face, etc., will wake her out of this fog and make her realize what she's doing. Yes, she has disrespected me by messing around with the other man. Yes, she's lied about things. I can't change what has happened. The past is the past. I can only look forward, hope that she is open to my changes and hope that she is willing to work through all of this and come out better at the end of it. If she's not willing, then so be it. I can't force her to try. I just know that I love her unconditionally and despite what she's put us through these past 4 weeks, that hasn't changed. If she really wanted to leave so badly, she should have just filed the papers and been done with it. Instead, she chose to cheat and has created this mess of uncertainty, confusing, shock, and disbelief. My comment: this OP is a forever plan B. Let me tell you guys, she is still having an affair, but just ghost her husband's concern now. Don't be plan B, or you'll be on this emotional roller coaster forever.